Hi, it's David in the glass studio. I just finished soldering up this window and I discovered a problem that I thought might be interesting for you to see. It's a minor problem, it's not a very big deal. However, it's a technique for solving other things that come up with the copper foil method that might be of great use to you in the future. Okay, now the problem is that this line looks a little bit crooked. Now, like I said, it's not a very big problem because if I flip it over, you can see that the line looks straight. It's only on the back where it looks crooked. Now, what could have caused that? Well, first of all, as a person was putting copper foil on this piece of glass, it might have gotten shifted over. Or a more likely cause is that when the window was being soldered on the other side, it might have gotten moved a little bit, and that would cause the foil to roll up a little bit right here, and as a result of that, it has deformed, and so the lead line has deformed as well, and so it just doesn't look straight. Well, this is an easy fix. Now, because I have just finished soldering this whole window has got a lot of flux on it. And so I'm just going to rub with a rag here on the spot where I want to fix this. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm placing the copper foil even with the top and even with the bottom, and it's going to overlap. See how it's going right down onto the glass right here, but up here it's riding on top of the lead. Okay, now I can just trim that by putting a craft knife right on top of the foil and then just tearing it off. Now I can add a little bit of flux. Okay, now what I like to do is start on one edge and I just hold the iron down briefly and the solder melts and you see that it just is captured. Now I want to go directly to the next edge and I want to do the same thing so that I can keep the foil in place. Now that I've got both the top and the bottom, the foil is fairly secure because it's being held from both ends. So now I'm going to place it, and you see I just let it melt down into the solder. Look at that. It actually buries it in. So I have some solder here, but what I'm really using it for is in case I need it as a guide. I can just work right along here. And there you have it. A lead line that looks straight like it should. And That wasn't a very big deal. However, there are times when you'll find that it comes in very handy to know that trick. Times where you've accidentally soldered your the foil that had a problem and you didn't realize it, so you can come back later and fix it. Also, there are times when the foil gets damaged. One time I had some very powerful flux that actually ate away the copper foil on one side, and I used this technique over the entire side of the window, replacing the old copper foil with new. Worked great. You couldn't tell that it had ever had a problem. I see there's a little place here where my solder hasn't quite adhered to the copper foil. So I put a little bit of flux, a little extra flux on there. So it's just on this side. And that probably has to do with the adhesive that's on the copper foil. Just didn't quite get a chance to get pushed down since we were just floating it down through the lead. And there we have it.